It was supposed to be a quiet Saturday morning. I was relaxing at home after a long week of work. Living in the neighborhood had never caused any problems before. At least, not until Nancy decided to make herself part of my day. I enjoyed my mornings in peace. The house was my private property and my sanctuary. Nothing seemed unusual as I started my day. Then I heard a vehicle stop outside. Outside, Nancy had arrived once again. She was known throughout the neighborhood for causing trouble. Most residents simply avoided arguments with her. Unfortunately, she wasn't planning to leave quietly. Nancy marched straight toward my front door. She carried a stack of HOA documents. The problem was simple. My property wasn't under HOA authority. For months, she had insisted I follow HOA rules. Each time, I politely explained the facts. Each time, she ignored them. This visit will be no different. I noticed her. Through the window, she seemed more upset than usual. Something about her behavior felt different, almost reckless. The knocking started loudly. Then it became even louder. Nancy clearly expected immediate obedience. She wasn't going to get it. I decided not to answer immediately. There was no emergency. No reason for anyone to force a conversation. But Nancy had already made another decision. Instead of leaving, Nancy tried the door. She tested the handle as if she belonged there. That was the moment everything changed. Nancy stepped inside my home. She acted as though HOA authority gave her that right. It didn't, and she had no idea whose house she had entered. Nancy had entered without permission. She thought authority belonged to her. But inside this house, the rules were different, and she was about to realize that. She started shouting demands immediately. Her voice echoed through the house. But I stayed completely calm. I had seen people like her before. I stepped forward without rushing. No anger, no fear. Just control. Nancy didn't understand my silence. But silence often speaks louder than words. She shoved paperwork in my direction. HOA violation notices filled her hands. She believed papers gave her power. She was completely wrong. I reached into my jacket slowly, not to threaten her, but to show truth. The badge came into view. Her confidence started to break. Her expression changed instantly. She stepped backward in shock. And that's when she noticed them. Deputies had just entered the house. The room suddenly felt smaller. Authority had fully shifted. Now, Nancy was no longer in control. She was the one being watched. I raised my hand slightly. A simple signal was enough. No shouting was needed. Everything was already understood. A deputy stepped forward. He spoke in a firm tone. Nancy tried to respond, but her voice was no longer strong. The papers slipped from her hands. Her confidence was gone. She finally realized something important. She had made a serious mistake. I turned away slightly. No need for anger. Justice was already in motion, and it didn't require noise. Nancy was guided toward the exit. No force, just procedure. Her resistance was gone now. Reality had finally set in. Outside, she stood frozen. The world felt different now. The power she thought she had. It never existed here. I watched quietly from the doorway. No satisfaction, no anger, just closure. Some lessons don't need words. She walked back toward her car. Each step felt heavier. Her confidence was gone completely. Only silence followed her. The deputies waited for instructions. Everything was already handled. No chaos remained. Only order. I slowly closed the door. Peace returned to my home. Nothing had changed here, except an understanding of authority. The house was silent again. The chaos had ended quickly. Only the echoes remained, and they faded fast. I sat back with my coffee, just like the morning. Started, some days bring disturbance, but peace always returns. The day finally ended peacefully. The neighborhood looked the same again, but one person had learned a lesson. Respect always is a boundary. Ho drama neighbor.